Hey guys, it's Nikki with Nikki's Gonna Plan, and welcome back to Writing Wednesday. I apologize for the way that I left things last week. We have just had a lot going on, good and bad. Sometimes when I say I'm not feeling well, it's not always physical, because I do have a mental illness that I struggle with daily. I am on medications. I am stable 99% of the time. I have my days where I'm not, and those are days that I just have to take off and rejuvenate, refresh, relax, and start over. I know I haven't got back to this since last Wednesday, and I do apologize, but sometimes you have to take time for yourself, for your mental health, for your family. It's kind of what I did. We went camping. Everything's not great. Everything will never be great, 100%. But you know, sometimes you just gotta roll with the punches, and that's life, and that's what I'm trying to do. So I don't know how long this will be. I kind of wanted to finish where I left off last time, to finish that part of this episode, so to speak. So I think I'm just going to do that before we start into the big fancy handwriting thing. So I'm just going to finish this one. It might be kind of short, might be long. I don't know. Depends on how long or how often I talk. I'm just going to pull out a piece of paper. I think we stopped at Q last time. So I will start with R. Right now we're just doing the upstrokes, the loops, the downstrokes, and the filling in of the brush strokes. So R, start at the bottom line. You go up to the left, around like a cursive R, and then down and back up. Brush strokes are on the left hand side. We're filling those in today. And then on the right, it is also on the inside. And that is R. If you notice the Band-Aid, we went camping this weekend. I burnt myself, but I'm okay. I know the Band-Aid's ugly, but I got to keep it clean. I don't want it to get infected. I'm at a very high rate for infection right now. Alrighty, we're going to do S. Start on the left and go up. And down to the right. Loop it to the left and back up to the right. We're doing that brush stroke just once on the inside or the outside. You can't tell when it's actually filled in. So I guess you can put it on the outside or the inside and it would look the same, or similar at least. Okay. And there's S. I'm hoping these look a lot better when we get to those brush pens, guys. It's not looking too pretty. I mean, it's looking better than when we started. All right, we're going to do some T's. Start at the bottom, go up, above, down like a regular T, and a little, and then you do a little curly across. I made my T a little too straight. That's okay. I'm still going to do like a little brush stroke, a little downstroke, brush stroke thing here. We'll make it work. Yeah, I'm a little too close to my left side, but that's okay. You can still tell it's a T, right? We're on to U. Normally cursive U. Down and up, and then down and up. Got the downstroke on that side. And we got the downstroke on this side. My U's aren't the best, but with more practice, maybe we will be one day. And V, start at the top, down and up. And you do a curly, like almost a regular V with a curly. And then the brush strokes on the left side all the way down and on the inside of the little loop, little curly loop thing. And that's a V. And we have W. Start at the top, go down, back up, all the way down, back up, and curl. Brush stroke on the left. Brush stroke on, there's one in the middle, and then there's one in the little loop that I made really small. But I'm going to make it work. It is an X. That first stroke that goes from left to right, it's fancy. You curl it, you go down, and then you curl it again. And then a straight line. I was kind of in a hurry on that one. I told myself I knew this was probably going to be short, but I wasn't going to rush it. I really wanted to try. There was one video I was doing my numbers, having a really bad day, and I was just a little slap happy. I don't know what you want to call it, but that wasn't me. It was me, but I was just me on a bad day, I guess. Sorry about that, y'all. Again, I'm sorry. Okay, moving on to the Y. Okay, here we go. We start the left. It's like a V. You go down and up, down, big old loopy, and up. Still working on my Ys. Maybe if I wasn't so close. Let's try it one more time. Maybe not so close to the edge of the page. No. Ys are not my strength right now. When you get towards the end of the alphabet, ooh, it starts getting worse. So I've practiced more at the beginning than I have the end. But that's okay. You know, guys, we all learn at our own speed, at our own progress, in our own time. Yours may look way better than that, and I'm not going to be sad about it. I'm going to be happy for you. But if you're like me and still struggling to perfect those Y's and Z's, you're right along there with me. Speaking of Z, let's move on. You start Z like a normal cursive Z that probably nobody makes anymore. You start at the bottom, and you take it up and over and down, not all the way to the bottom. And then you kind of just take a big old curl, big old loop it around, and bring it back up. And then you do the brush strokes. They're fake brush strokes. We're not doing brush strokes right now. Let me clarify that. In case you're new to this and you skip the other videos. This is a fake brush stroke that is supposed to be a simulation of an actual brush pen. Right now we're learning the very basics, the bones of the letters. So we started with tracing them and just leaving it hollow like this. That's Z. Now we're going to move on to the numbers. Number 1 has a foot, has one arm and a foot. So we're going to the, starting on the left, we're going up to the top, down, and you add the foot. And then the fake brush stroke that we are simulating with I have a Papermate Flare. I'm using that because it is not too thick and it's not too thin. I tried using a thin pen, wasn't very good at coloring in. Tried to use one that was thicker, and it just kind of bled everywhere. So I have settled with a Papermate Flare. In my first video, I do have tools that the author of this book recommends. It is in the first episode. I'll link all the previous episodes down in the description, so check that out. And number 2, it's a pretty 2. If I could get it to look that pretty, it's just a very, very fancy 2 with a downstroke. We're going up and down, and you do a little curl, and then you do the downstroke. Color it in. It's kind of just a tall, skinny 3. Up and around, and around. Super skinny. Then you have the down brush stroke, the downstrokes, brush strokes, whatever you like to call them. I'm trying to mix them up in my brain, apparently. And that is your number 3. Number 4, you can go down, then you go over, and you just do a little curl at the end. I didn't even do that big of a curl, but you can go wild. Go wild. And then we do what is supposed to be the brush stroke. And that is number 4. Number 5, they want you to start all the way to the right and just make it one big line without stopping. So start to the right, take a left, go down, take a right, up and down and around. Let me do that again. Okay, right to the left, down. Not very good hanging off this, but I'm going to try. Here we go. Up and around and curl. Oh well. Okay, I don't want to keep you guys too long. So I did really long that first time because it was new and I wanted to go slower. But if you're returning, you know, we basically got the basics. We were supposed to have the bones done by now and figured out. I mean, clearly, not all of us. Number 6, if you need to know any intricate details of what we're doing, check down in the description. I'll have the last videos linked in the description for you. Number 6, another just kind of skinny 6. Down and around. And then we're going to do the brush stroke. There we go. My medicine makes me shake, so it's not quite as smooth as it could be, but it looked worse when I first started. Number 7, I do the little arm first and then go over to the right. Kind of swing it at an arch on your way down, and this has a foot as well. And then you do the brush strokes. Well, hopefully yours is better than mine. Okay, here's where I'm bad at. You would think this would be the easiest one, but 8 and 9 are my hardest. I don't know. I can't get it. Perhaps I don't make my 8s like this. I make my 8s like this. Not that that's pretty or anything, but some people make their 8s like this, and they're probably going to be better at it than I am starting off. You just make a circle or an oval, and then you make another oval. See, I'm going to start over and try this again. I'm terrible at this one. Make an oval, and then maybe another oval. There. That's probably the best one I've made so far. And then you do the little brush strokes. See how it's really thin there, and it gets thicker as you go. That's how a brush stroke is actually supposed to look. It's not one thickness all the way through. Even here, it's thinner there, gets thick and thinner. Same here. That's how they kind of want you to see it. Like an actual brush pen is making these strokes, in a sense. All right, that's 8. Best one I've done so far. All right, number 9. Another one I'm not great at. All right, here we go. Gonna just make a 9. And then we're gonna do the little brush strokes. So I'll do my best with what I have here. Because, you know, they may turn out to look this way even with a brush pen, because everybody's hands and fingers and fingernails are all different. So we all hold pens and pens differently. So not all of them are going to look exactly the same. You're going to have your own little flair to it, regardless of how perfect you can get these. It'll always be a little bit different than everybody else's, because we are unique. This will be the last one for today. This is all I can really get done right now, and it'll be a good place for me to stop. And then when I get to next week, hopefully we can start fresh on a new section, and it'll give me more time to practice as well. I'm just a big oval, but I can't imagine trying to do it with a brush pen when I can barely do it with this pen. But who knows? It may look better once I get that brush pen in here, because like I said, these are getting the basics, the bones, the basic maneuvers in your hands. You're getting your muscle memory in your hands to work, to get going. Repetition is key. It gets those muscle memories thinking. So that way, when you get on to more complicated things, you'll have the basic structures, hopefully imprinted in your muscle memory, in your hands. So this is just a reference. It just shows you, what it looks like, what it should look like with a brush pen. And then we get on to fancy stuff, guys. All these fancy frilly, froopy, loopy letters. Like I was saying, that's why they want you to have the basic mannerisms, done, ready to go, figured out. So that way we can go into this headstrong. Not really. Take your time. I'll be here whenever you need me. It's not like my videos are going anywhere. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna call it a day, and I'm gonna hopefully be back with these again next week. I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Please share if you feel this will help somebody else. I'll have all the previous ones in the link. Like I said, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on those notifications so you'll know when my next one comes out, even if it's not next Wednesday. I may post it when it's not a Wednesday, just to get it out there for you guys. I hope you guys have a great day and a good night.